Hello. Sorry these things have been getting up later than they should. I've been having problems with uploading HD video to YouTube for some reason. I picked up a cool little app that's supposed to be able to upload 720p video to YouTube by itself on just straight from my phone. But it's not been working, and so I tried importing it and having QuickTime upload it itself, and that wasn't working. So I'm gonna have to use the web interface, which is a bummer because it's slow and it ties up my browser. You know, I hate having a window open that I can't close, and if I close it, then everything goes to pot. I think YouTube has got their own uploader application for the desktop, which I may give a shot. Anyway, sorry everything's been getting up a bit slowly. Today I just wanted to do a quick little blurb about sample size and kind of an interesting example that I ran into this morning. Sample size is really, really important. When it comes to scientific trials, because if you don't have a good enough sample size, the data that you collect are worthless. And I ran into an interesting example of this. I think the classic example is having a bag of marbles. If you pull out, or I think maybe it's jelly beans. You have a bag of jelly beans. You reach in and you pull out two. One's black and one's red. If you only grab two, can you assume that everything in that bag is black and red? No, you can't. You can't even assume that it's 50-50 black to red. Those could be the only two black and red jelly beans in there, and you'd have no idea. You need a larger sample size. Well, that's kind of it's a good example, but it's kind of obscure. Nobody ever really reaches into bags full of jelly beans. Although I wish I could do that more often. My example was this morning. I was making coffee, and I was trying to rinse out my thermos. It's got some rubber seals in there that I wanted to pull out and give some special attention to, because that's where all the coffee oils get trapped and they just sit in there and taste awful later. So I wanted to run it under the tap and give it a bit of a scrub. Well, I had just drawn some hot water to start boiling, and so of course the tap was really, really hot. So I turned on the right handle, and it was really hot. So I turned the right handle off and pulled the left handle, and it was really, really cold. I was going, wait a minute, it's supposed to be the other way around. The hot is supposed to be on the left, and the cold is supposed to be on the right. So I opened the right side up again, and it was hot. And I closed it and opened up the other side again, the left side, and it was cold again. And I couldn't figure out what was going on. So, I went with common sense and my previous experience with this particular tap. And, before I remembered it being hot on the left and cold on the right, like it should be. And so I went ahead and opened up the right side and just let it run for a second. When I put my hand underneath it, it was cold again. Well, why did it appear to be backwards? Well, of course the answer is when I would open up one side, it would introduce this much water. And I'd open up the other side, and the other temperature of water would flow out before it could make the transition all the way. And really, it's kind of stupid, and I can't believe that I got caught by such a simple mechanic as that, as just, that delay that's there, not waiting for that delay to be over. But it was pretty early in the morning. And so I got fooled into thinking that one tap, or that the tap temperatures were reversed because I didn't have a large enough sample size. If I would have let it run, I would have seen that delay disappear, or the effect of that delay disappear, and I would have seen the actual results of my actions. But instead, I was taking too small of a sample size, getting caught in that delay. And it's kind of an interesting example because you don't normally think of sample sizes being a linear problem. It's usually a bag of jelly beans and is very non-linear. Yeah, I thought it was a really cool example that I hadn't really thought of before. And I'd never really experienced a small sample size really making a real-life difference on me, rather than just an intellectual, let me make my study more robust so that I'll get a good grade. Alright, well, that's it for today. I look forward to talking to you guys later. Bye-bye.